Okay, guys, is that better? Okay, we'll wait for everybody to come back. Technical difficulties are over. Do 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 do. Wait for folks to come back. Technical difficulties. Okay, so we're just going to wait for folks to join again. I'm so sorry for that. This is going to be part two of manifestation. I'll have to try to splice these together. I'm not very good at that. Okay, so I'm going to try to wait for the notification to go out. Okay, guys, so we're talking about manifestation, and um, we were just getting to the point where we're talking about when about being grateful and being having an attitude of gratitude, and really having that belief system that what we are seeking to manifest is coming to us, and that we already have it, right? That we already possess the future that we desire. It's kind of like a seed, right? So the seed, within a seed, it contains the entire DNA, the entire blueprint for whatever that seed is for. So if it's a tree, it is the entire DNA and entire blueprint to create a maple tree once it's planted in the ground. Um, if it's if it's a rose bush, it has everything within it to um, for the rose bush to grow and to be what it is meant to be. Okay, so you possess within you the DNA and everything within you that you need in order to manifest that future that you seek. So, okay, yay! People are coming back. Yay! So sorry for the technical difficulties. Um, I am honestly gonna have to go on and invest in some better equipment. But anyway, fake it till you make it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so where was I? Attitude of gratitude, right? And this belief system. So if you know the story of David and Goliath, right? David um, went to go fight the giant Goliath, right? And King Saul offered, thank you, um, King Saul offered him his armor. He said, David, you're about to go fight this. Here's my sword. Here's my armor. Put it on. Now, mind you, none of the army, the rest of the army, would go and fight this giant. And here, this giant is terrorizing the whole entire, army and camp and whatnot. And no one would go fight except for this young shepherd boy. So he comes up and he says, "No, Saul, King Saul, respectfully, I decline. I don't want your armor." And what he said was, God, there was a bear that came to try to eat the sheep, and God, I wrestled the bear, and God helped me defeat the bear. God helped me defeat the lion. He starts going through this litany of victories that he had already received prior to this day. And he said, God will deliver me from this giant. The moral of that story is this: when we have an attitude of gratitude, when we start recounting and speaking back out there what we have been brought through, the victories we already have received, that bolsters our belief that it can and will happen. That it will happen because look, course I'm going to have a six-figure income. Why wouldn't I? I got a bed for $100 and $1,000 bed. I have a beautiful home that I'm in a position to buy that I should not be in a position to purchase this home. Let me just tell you, 2 years ago, people would have, there's no way you're going to be able to buy this home. There's no way you can have this. There's no way you can have that. It doesn't matter what other people say because I know I have had a lot and I've had a little. But every time my bills are paid, there's food on my table, right? Clothes on my back, I am taken care of at every turn. There's no reason why I cannot receive that which I am believing for. That attitude of gratitude puts you in the position, puts you in a spot to keep your vibration high because you're grateful for everything. And you already believe and you know these things can be brought and have been brought to me. You have to maintain that, okay? You have to maintain the attitude of gratitude. So visualize, emote, put your energy in motion, speak it over yourself, remain positive, speak it over yourself, write it down. There's something also about writing it down and putting it in front of your face so you constantly see it. Write it down. Feel it, live it, love it, believe it. Then you got to do the work on yourself so you remember that you deserve it, that you feel safe with it. I have wanted a high powered, if you will, position for years, or there's just a figure I have. I'm not going to, you know, I don't care. I want six figures in my life. That's what I want, at least. Um, However, I have had to look at how I sabotaged my own success. So your own sabotage, your own energy can block your blessings. Your own energy can block your manifestations. While all of this is going on, you still need to do the work inside and figure out why. Why did I not feel safe with money? I'm being very transparent here. Lisa had to look at why Lisa did not feel safe with money. Lisa had to look why Lisa felt that she'd get to a point and then all of a sudden I would get these achievements and then I would do something that would self-sabotage every time. Or other people wouldn't support me. So why does this record keep playing over and over and over and over and over again? It's like for those of us that still remember albums, vinyl, I had a scratch and it was stuck and it was on repeat. Couldn't get past it until I started clearing that old karma, until I started looking within myself and seeing what in my past history kept me from doing this. Why do I feel this way? Why do I keep like deep sixing my blessing? Sometimes we're not taught how to handle money. In my case, I wasn't taught a healthy respect for money. Growing up, I just wasn't. And also, my father always equated money as power over whomever. If he gave you $1, honey, he owned you. So I didn't have a healthy relationship with money either. Because money was a bad thing, honestly, when I really look at it. Bad thing. It wasn't a good thing. So I had to really look at why I did what I did and why certain things were not manifesting in my life either. That's an internal issue that you have to deal with as you're going through this process. It's an internal thing. You've got to do the healing as well the whole time you're seeking to manifest. That's kind of a side note. That's a little extra. That's a little extra credit there. So we visualize, we emote, we write it down, we speak it over ourselves, we have an attitude of gratitude, and you say, I've done all of that, Lisa. It ain't here. It ain't here. Where's that? Now comes the patience. Now comes the realization that what you've chosen in the future is there. It's already there. It's coming. Yes. So I'm going to go a little quantum physics on you. A little quantum, right? We are confined by time and space. The human body is confined by time and space. That's what gives us the human experience. Spirit is eternal. Spirit is eternal. The future is out there in eternity. Regardless if you've chosen that future, it still needs to come through time and space. When you get really good at the belief, the emoting, and the resonance is high, the vibration is high, you're like living in that moment at all times, time and space collapses and it's brought to you. This is this quantum manifestations, reality transurfing. This is that new stuff that's out there right now that people are talking about. Typical law of attraction, it takes time. Of course it takes time. Because that's the future looking at, even though it's the reality that we believe, it's still out there and it needs to be brought into us. We have to be ready for it to receive it. There does come a point where time and space collapses and it's here. There does come a point as you're learning to manifest and stay in faith and stay in a positive attitude and stay in a high vibration and stay in a high resonance that cycle shortens dramatically. I go through cycles literally where I will think it and then it's here. I'll say, oh, I think I want, oh, it's here. Or I would really like to have, and then it's here. I can't tell you, like, I can tell you actually. In those times, my resonance is very high, my vibration is high. I'm operating at that level, and I've been at the current status. It's not that easy, though, to do that, right? When we're living in a three-dimensional world where there's still an electricity bill and there's still rent and there's still all of these things, right? It's you're mucked down and mired, and it can be difficult to live here when we still have this experience here that we have to deal with. So how do we get into both, and how do we collapse this time frame? Manifestation is truly about the belief system or the operating system, the operating at such a high vibration that the spoken word becomes reality and takes physical form in a way that we didn't plan, we didn't expect it to happen that way, but it just is. You speak your reality into existence. And I feel like I'm jumping, and I know I'm jumping around. There's so much information I'm trying to get out here. Um, Manifestation is speaking your world into existence. When the spoken word, the belief is there, the emotion is there, and then it comes into existence. Um, the world is made up of sound waves as well as particles. Particles are made up of sound waves and light, but thank you, honey. Particles are made up of sound waves. That is a scientific fact. So, when the stories of creation are told throughout the centuries and spoke, spoke, let there be light, and there was. God spoke the earth into existence. God spoke the only thing he had to form with his own hands was man, to make man in his likeness and image. There's a whole nother discussion about that. We'll move that to the side. God spoke, it is. God said, it is. And we are created in his image and his likeness. Therefore, we speak, it is. The divinity within us, coming from divine, being divine, coming from the infinite and being infinite within a finite body, allows us to move our infinite bodies to move in this world in such a way that we speak and it is. Our brain can't comprehend that because it's a thing of a spirit. Our brain says, I got to figure out how this is going to happen. I got to figure out how I'm going to get that. How am I going to do this? Right? Spirit says, no, you don't. I said it. It is. There is nothing else. It doesn't matter the how. It doesn't matter. Will it matter to me if there's 2 or 3 different positions I have at my fingertips at the moment? Does it matter to me which one is going to bring me what I want, the salary that I want? Nope. Not at all. I don't care. Because I spoke and it is. The how doesn't matter. When we let go of the how and the intellect, and the intellectual mind can let go of that, that's when manifestation can happen at a rapid rate. Speak happens, speak happens, speak happens. Hello, dear, how are you? That's the cycle we need to get into. And you can manifest this, you can use this concept not just for things, you use this concept for yourself. I am. Good. I am. I speak it, therefore I am. This is the concept we have to get into with manifestation. The whole law of attraction is just, I speak and it comes. I speak and it comes. Because I have the faith to know that it's coming. Now, I'm sure you've also heard, faith without works is dead. That does not mean that you have to figure every detail out, but that does mean you put yourself in a position to receive. So when I hear people saying, oh, Lisa, I want to manifest a man or a woman. I want my twin flame to come to me. And I am speaking it into existence. My husband and my wife. Okay. Well, are you ready for that husband or that wife to come into your life? Have you done your work? Because if you haven't, I don't care how much you speak it, it ain't happening because you're not ready. You speak financial success into your world, you better be prepared to have somewhere to put those finances at and in. You better have your coffers, as they say, ready. Have your bank account ready. Have your Roth IRA and your 401k ready to accept whatever it is, or your investments, or purchasing a house, whatever it is. You got to be ready. Your heart has to be ready to receive it as well. People run around here wanting to manifest this and manifest that, and I have seen some folks, and again, I'm not judging anybody, I just watch and I'm just relaying. I have seen people literally bring in tens of thousands of dollars out of crack, 3 months or whatever. Like all of a sudden they have all this money and they don't know what to do with it. They run around the world doing this, doing that, and pretty soon they're broke again, all on YouTube trying to get $9.99 to pay for their manifestation, program. $99.99. Come on now, you got to be ready for it. Don't just speak something out and then just, what you gonna do when it come here? So you're trying to speak your twin flame and your soulmate into your life. This is what you want, but you a hot ass mess. You haven't dealt with your daddy issues. You haven't dealt with your mama issues. You dealt with the you issues. You went around here and get mad at every little thing you that just, somebody just, you know, done put a new broke toilet paper on a darn toilet paper roll, and then you just ready to blow up. You got anger issues. Get yourself together and get yourself ready and prepared for that mate. Get yourself prepared for that success. Another reason success had not come to me yet is because I wasn't ready for it. I've had many opportunities to be quite successful over my time period, and I will be 50 years old on July 16th. You all mark that date on your calendar. It is a national holiday. Lisa's turning 50, and I'm very happy about it. Now, I've had many opportunities, though, to be successful, highly successful. Many over my years, my short life, this lifetime. But I wasn't ready for it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I would not have been responsible with it. I just wouldn't have. I've had a ministry before where I would go all over the country and minister prophetically in the church. That was a precipice. People would speak wonderful, beautiful words of prophecy over me and say I would have this huge, grand ministry and I'd be very well known and all of this. And I'm standing there, tears rolling down my face. Oh, yes, I'm ready to receive it. And deep down inside, I'm like, I ain't ready for that. I would self sabotage it every time. Every time. I wasn't prepared for it. And deep down inside, I knew I wasn't. So I sabotaged it. This time, in this moment, I'm ready. I've dealt with so many major issues in my life. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you brought me such a long way from where I was. I was a broken, broken human being a year ago, a little more than a year ago. Broken. This time last year, honey, I was dealing with a narcissist. I had already kicked him out, but I was dealing with the narcissist, and he was just, I was crying all the time. I was a hot ass mess. And here I'm saying, I want, I want, I want, I want. And at some point, I just stopped and said, I don't want anything but to be healed. That's the first manifestation you have to make is healing. The very first one. You know how you're about to have a baby? Those of you who are mothers, fathers, or you've witnessed it, I'm sure. But someone's about to have a baby. And while this baby is growing inside of them, they're making preparations to receive this child into their home. You have baby showers and folks bring stuff over and you get the baby's room together, or if you don't have a whole room, because some of us don't have a whole room. Some of us don't got a whole room. We maybe have a half a room for a whole baby. But my point being is you make preparations for this child to come into your home, into your life. You get daycare and all of these things, right? We don't make preparations for our spiritual babies to be born. Some of us are high risk pregnancies. If you were to get right now, think about this and be honest with yourself. If you were to receive right now what it is you want, think about would you honestly be ready for it? Would you honestly be ready for that man or that woman? Would you honestly be ready for that big bank account? Would you honestly be ready for this notoriety or whatever it is that you're looking for, this being famous or whatever it is? Would you be ready for it? And if you could honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, yes, God bless you, you know, and I'm going to add my faith to yours and I will put you in my prayers. However, if you could honestly look at yourself and there's a sliver of doubt, and you could honestly say, no, I'm not ready, you're in the perfect spot. because now you're ready to be healed. Okay?